Hello, welcome. Welcome. This is the global community for adults who are healing CPTSD. My name is Athena, and we have all been coming here together and spending time with one another about once a week or so for 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. It's so good to be here with you. So each week we have a theme. We have some breath work that we do together. We focus on nervous system regulation, co-regulation. We have, in addition to our breath work, we have our meditation written by Morgan Harper Nichols. Her artwork is what you see up on the screen. We also have a compassionate healing strategy written by Dr. Ariel Schwartz, and a Loving the Self affirmation written by Lisa A. Romano. And then lately, over the past few months or so, I've been bringing a quote from Young Pueblo's most recent book titled The Way Forward. So a very warm welcome to you if you're listening to this on a replay. So grateful that you have chosen to click on this video. Thank you so much. Anytime you enjoy a video, it is so helpful for you to click the thumbs up button, only if it was helpful. And anytime you save a video to a playlist or forward it in any way, it helps YouTube to know that we are creating a space for others, and then that triggers like an algorithm to allow the videos from this channel to reach more people. So we're currently reaching survivors and trauma-informed practitioners in 180 countries. And I didn't know that was possible. But that's what the analytics say, like in the back end of YouTube. So it's quite mind-blowing, and I'm so very grateful and humbled and honored to be here with you. Thank you again for clicking on this if you're listening on a replay. And for those of you who are here right now, hello, hello. Let me just pause and say hello to everyone who's here. And then we will get started. Hello, John Harvey. A very special thank you to our Blue Wrench crew. Those with a blue wrench next to their name, they are our moderators, and they help to keep our chat stream a safe enough place for adult survivors of complex trauma to come together and check in with one another. So we share what works for us, what doesn't really work for us, and we do that once a week on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So a very special thank you to John Harvey and Ninja Taco. Hello, hello, hello to you, Lisa. Lisa says, hi everyone. Dr. Rebecca Darden Perry says hi from North Carolina. Hello, Dr. Rebecca. It's so nice to meet you. I think I'm meeting you for the very first time. And Sadye Chester says, hi there. I've never joined here, but I have CPTSD, and this seems helpful and less isolating. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. We're so glad that you're here. We warmly welcome you. Mary says, hello. Hello, Mary. I'm sending you emojis right back. So grateful that you're here. Mary says, hello, Athena and everybody. I'm glad I could make it to the live today. I'm so glad too. And John Harvey's warmly welcoming everyone. Ninja Taco says hello to everyone. So glad that I can be here with all of you. Hello to you, Betsy. Am I meeting you for the very first time? It's nice to have you here. I feel like we have a couple of Betsy's in our community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Midnight Blue. Always so good to see you. I'm sending you emojis right back. I thank you. I will do my best to remember to call you Rebecca. I usually just read off of the screen, but I will do my absolute best. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Hand on my heart. I'm very, very grateful. Oh, you're very welcome, Sadie. Yes, and welcome newcomers. Oh, it's lovely to meet you. Hello to you, Deborah. It's Deborah's first time here also. Oh, I'm so grateful you're here too. Oh, this is so great. Hello, Abigail. Oh, this is lovely. I feel so grateful. So we are going to begin with some breath work. Now, over the last few weeks, we've been doing a bottom-up approach to our breath work together. And what that looks like is instead of counting our breaths together, instead of me guiding you through your breath work with like a metronome with counting, which engages your top brain, your prefrontal cortex, what we're going to do is we're going to do our bottom-up breath work that we've been doing for the last few weeks. There's a nerve that runs, if you reach back with one of your hands to the base of your neck, and you feel where your neck touches your spinal cord and turns into your spinal cord right there, that top area. There is a nerve that runs from vertebrae 3, I think, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, all the way down to our diaphragm. And so what will often happen when we do this bottom-up approach to breath work, as we are turning our head from left to right together and opening and closing our hands and tightening and loosening and wiggling our fingers, looking to the left and the right and then up and down, as we're doing that together, the nerve that runs from our vertebrae 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 all the way to our diaphragm, it gets stimulated, and it causes us to spontaneously yawn, oftentimes activating our parasympathetic nervous system. So we're going to get started here. I want to invite you to get very, very comfortable. I'm going to actually take off my jacket because I just got back and I still have it on. I had to run an errand last minute. Oh, there we go. That feels much more relaxing. So I want to invite you to get very, very, very comfortable. You can have your eyes open or closed. You can have a glass of water nearby. You can be lying down or sitting up. Oh, I'm already yawning in anticipation of our breath work. So as always, I'll describe for you my setup here. I'm sitting in my most favorite workspace. I have my feet propped up out in front of me so that I can get a nice big stretch. I have a pillow supporting my posture. I'm sitting up, shoulders back. My heart space is wide open. My belly is soft. And here we go. We're going to put our hands down by our side. We're going to wiggle our fingers. Stretch our fingers far apart. And clench our hands really tight. And loosen our hands, remembering to breathe. And we're going to lift our hands up to our shoulders, as though we're reaching behind to the back of our shoulders, and our elbows naturally rise up towards our shoulders or above our shoulders, looking all the way to the left, remembering to breathe. Let's see how far left we can look, like we're trying to look behind us and to the left, as far as we can. And let's look all the way to the right, as far as we can look behind our right shoulder. Let's bring our head back to the center, and let's let our hands rise up to the ceiling or the sky, wiggling our fingers, rotating our wrists, leaning our head all the way back, trying to see if we can look as far behind us as possible, like if we had eyes in the back of our head, reaching our arms and our hands as high up as possible, rotating our wrists around and around, remembering to breathe, allowing our head to come down, looking straight ahead, stretching our arms all the way out to the side, palms up, slowly opening and closing our hands, and placing our chin all the way down to our chest. If we could place our chin on our belly button, that's how far down we want to look. Remembering to breathe. Allowing our hands to come down just gently and naturally into the most relaxed position possible. Letting our head rest in a natural position, tilting our neck to the right, tilting our neck to the left, remembering to breathe. If your eyes are open, consider closing them for just a moment as we take one slow breath together. Beautiful breath work. Very well done. Very well done. How did that feel? Just checking in with you. Did anyone enjoy a yawn? You are so welcome, Midnight Blue. Sending each of you safe hugs. You are so welcome, Lisa. Great yawn, Rebecca. That's wonderful. Did I miss Jeffrey? Did Jeffrey? Hello, Jeffrey Sherman. How are you, Family? Good to see you. Ninja Taco, recovery buddy, how are you feeling? How have you been? That was really relaxing breath work. Really grateful for that. So we have our quote from Young Pueblo. This week's theme is hope or hopefulness. And our journal prompt is, what does hope or hopefulness look like for you? What does hopefulness look like for you? Young Pueblo says, after the cocoon period, when you are in full bloom, take advantage of this powerful energy. Create what your intuition is asking you to. Stay open to new connections. Make the moves that will change your life. Do the hard things that your capacity can handle, and live adventurously. I love the reminder that there is a cocoon period. And I also love the reminder that we can do hard things and that it's okay to honor our capacity. I think it's so important to remember that we each have a window of tolerance. We each have capacity. And if we deplete our emotional resources, it's difficult to get those back. We must fill our cup in whatever way feels helpful and supportive to us. For me, that looks like restful sleep, filtered water, hydration, green vegetables, gentle movement, fresh air, being in nature. What does that look like for you? It feels very hopeful. What does it look like for you? Let me just check on you. Oh, Ninja Taco, I'm so sorry. Oh, my hand is on my heart. Oh, recovery buddy, please take gentle care of yourself. Please be extra gentle and kind and patient with you. I'm so very sorry for your profound loss. I'm so deeply sorry, Ninja Taco. I'm sending you so much compassion. Whatever feelings you have that are coming up for you, please just know they are valid. We're here. We're beside you. says, hopefulness is having good friends you can trust and who are there for you when you need them. Yeah, I love that. That does sound very hopeful. There's so much love in the chat box for you, Ninja Taco. Thank you to each of you who are just so kind and so loving and compassionate. Yes, losing anyone close to us is so difficult. Yes, Lisa, you can do hard things. Oh, I'm so sorry you had a tough therapy session. Grief is so tricky and almost physically painful. What I'm learning about grief is grief requires a companion. Grief needs to be witnessed compassionately. Grief deserves to be fully acknowledged. All of it, whatever you're feeling, is valid. I'm so deeply sorry. Yes. You're so welcome. We are here with you, Lisa. Sadie says, I validate the feeling of grief. It came up a ton in my therapy session today too. Yeah. Thank you all so much for sharing. Lisa says, hopefulness is knowing difficult times are temporary. Trying to remind myself of this. Mother's Day was really hard this year. So sorry, Lisa. It's always so tricky. It's one of the trickiest and most grief-inducing days of the year for so much of our community. The mother wound is huge in our community. Sending so much compassion to anyone who needs it. Rebecca says, losing my therapist of 2 years. First person I've opened up to. My last session will be first week of August. I have cried so much, freaked out. I'm still seeing my trauma therapist. It's just hard. It is hard. It is hard. I'm so sorry. I'm just offering lots of love and compassion to each of you. So much love and compassion. Absolutely, yes. You're welcome. Me too, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Sherman says, I'm so glad to be a part of a community that cares about the feelings of others. We understand each other and give a true sense of togetherness and safety. Yeah. I feel that here. I do. I feel that here. For anyone who is hurting just a little bit more today than usual, please just know that I see you. I'm sending hugs, compassion, acknowledgement, validation. Hello, Craig. We are so grateful you are here and that you've joined us. A warm welcome to you, Dolly. We're so grateful that you're here as well. Warm welcome. We just finished our breath work and our young Pueblo quote. This week's was from page 30 of his most recent book, The Way Forward. So we are going to transition into our meditation written by Morgan Harper Nichols. Our theme this week is welcoming hope, welcoming hopefulness. It's all about perspective. And in the midst of grief, it can be hard to come by. Thank you for your presence. Morgan is reminding us that we are free to be gentle with ourselves while also looking ahead for the things we hope for. Morgan says, at times, you may feel that your days are defined by the pressure placed on you. Even in situations where you're doing what you love and you know that if you zoom out, you'll be grateful for what you have, there are still those days where the pressure to succeed or outperform, it overshadows the more mindful pace you may desire to take. And even though you yearn to take deep breaths and pace yourself, there's a message from the world around you that you must keep up with everyone else. Whether it's that we must meet performance goals at work or expectations within our family, there's a question that might arise. How can we even pursue a life of breathing deeply when there are so many fast-moving factors that we cannot control? This is a big, complex question that speaks to the tension that many of us find ourselves in. And while the question may not have an easy step-by-step answer, one thing we can do is situate the question within the landscape of life. So if we live in a part of the world where there's any kind of modernization, such as cell phone towers, paved roads, digital screens, then we're keenly aware of the way these things contribute to the fast-paced nature of life. However, while this is happening, if you look beyond the cell phone tower or the power lines, you will find a blue sky above you. If you look to the left or to the right of the road that vehicles are traveling on, you may find trees that line the road, and maybe even mountains or creeks or rivers, maybe even an ocean. And even though humans have built up a lot of the modern world, there are these reminders of nature all around us. Just looking over to the side of the road, noticing how nature is still there, even in the modern world, shows a tension that is often there in our daily lives. A natural world that moves in a very different way than the modern world. So remembering this tension in our daily life is something we can reflect on when we're starting to feel behind in life. And yes, there will be human-made settings where there's a ton of emphasis on achieving and succeeding. And we should be able to speak about those pressures that humans put on one another. And at the same time, the sky above us and the ground beneath us are reminders that even when it's hard to access, a more natural pace is calling our name. Even when we're just trying to move through our daily routine, when we find ourselves feeling tired or needing a break or just needing to get some fresh air or sit by the window and get some sunlight, it doesn't mean that we are weak or unequipped for what is before us. No, these are very natural responses. Sometimes the human-made world can cause us to forget just how complex the experience of being human truly is. In a world of highways, it can be easy to forget the winding paths that call our name. There will be those who might not feel that you are where you are supposed to be, but you don't have to be one of those people. You're allowed to zoom out and recognize the context and the larger picture from which they might be coming from, while also recognizing that you are free. You are free to seek out space, to breathe deeply wherever you can. Now, this is not easy to do, but it matters. It matters to remember that you are worthy of spaces where you feel free to pace yourself, no matter what you have or have not achieved by now. And perhaps when you feel like you are behind in life, you're actually learning to pace yourself on this winding course of your life. Please, may you give yourself permission to slow down and embrace the meandering nature of the journey you are on. It can be so hard sometimes. It can be so hard to remember that we are worthy of allowing ourselves the space we need to simply breathe. I'm so very grateful that we are able to do that here together at least once a week. And now we will transition into our compassionate healing strategy written by Dr. Ariel Schwartz. Dr. Ariel says, this compassionate healing strategy invites us to explore the movement of our body with gentle stretches and motions to release the physical heaviness and tension that often accompany the depressive symptoms of CPTSD. So if we have been inactive for quite a while, we might begin with gentle stretches. I'm reaching up above my head with one of my arms, switching my arms, reaching up with my other arm. And we can do this. We can do these gentle stretches along with a favorite piece of music. We can stretch in our living room, or we might even choose to go for a gentle walk outside. Or we may attend a yoga class. We have the trauma-informed yoga on Saturdays with Mindy. It's amazing. I think it's Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. There's a link, you can find more about it. I think it's in the description section or the pinned comment. But it's not even like traditional yoga. It's so beautiful. It's just like Monday nights, but everyone is sitting and doing a gentle stretch or just being fully present with one another. It's so beautiful. You might even have yoga classes in your community, like at a community center. Anytime we participate in anything that guides us through slow and mindful movement, it is going to really help our depressive presentation of CPTSD. And interestingly, it can also help the anxious presentation of CPTSD. It's very counterintuitive. What also is interesting, Dr. Ariel is inviting us here. She says that if we would like, we can also explore more vigorous movements. For example, she says you might want to walk at a faster pace, or you may even go for a run or ride a bike. You might choose to attend a fitness class or go to the gym and lift weights. You are free to notice how you feel as you increase your heart rate. Exercise provides us with a natural boost by increasing our endorphins, our feel-good chemicals, our natural feel-good chemicals. Most importantly, remember to move at a pace that is right for you. And be mindful to end any type of movement practice if it causes you any type of discomfort or it doesn't feel helpful and supportive. It's important for us to feel free to explore moving our bodies in ways that bring us joy. So we can take a moment to just appreciate ourselves right now, for even contemplating this, for this is enhancing our physical resilience. We've all been through so much. If you're here on this channel, you have endured repeated relational trauma. You are so resilient, and maybe even you might, if you're like me, you might even just be exhausted So please be gentle with yourself. And Dr. Ariel is reminding us here. She says, I encourage you to return to this practice as a part of your ongoing self-care routine. Let's pause. Remember to breathe. Gentle stretch. How did that feel? How did that feel? Hello, quiet inside. We warmly welcome you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm grateful for your presence as well. A warm welcome to anyone else I have not greeted by name. You're so welcome. So we will end our time together today with our Loving the Self affirmation, written by Lisa A. Romano. And Lisa says, miracles can happen. Miracles do happen. Miracles have happened. And if miracles can happen, they can happen to me. Anything that has been done can then also be undone. I can undo the programming that has been done. And I can learn to think the kinds of thoughts that will allow my mind to heal in big, miraculous ways. Today, I accept that if I want a miracle to happen to me, I must claim it as so and believe with all of me that I can succeed at loving myself through changing the way I have been taught to think. Remember to only participate in affirmations that feel in alignment with you, that feel helpful and supportive to you, that feel congruent with you. And if for any reason an affirmation doesn't feel true, don't try to force it. It's important to honor the parts of you that may not believe that something is true. There's a very real part of you that feels afraid of being disappointed if the affirmation is not true. So for instance, when Lisa says, today I accept that if I want a miracle to happen to me, I must claim it to be so and believe it with all of me, that I can succeed at loving myself through changing the way I've been taught to think. If that affirmation doesn't feel true, you can simply change it up or turn it into a question. Choice number one, alternate affirmation number one, you can say something like, today I am open to the idea of accepting that if I want a miracle to happen to me, then I must claim it as so and believe it with all of me. I am open to the idea that I can succeed at loving myself through changing the way I have been taught to think. Okay? So that's alternative number 1. Alternative number 2, you can turn it into a question. You could say something like, today, what if I considered accepting that if I wanted a miracle to happen to me, I could claim it as so. And then I could perhaps believe that I may succeed at loving myself through changing the way I have been taught to think. What if? Right? I warmly invite you to change it up, make it your own. Make sure that it resonates with you and that it lands in your nervous system. Okay? Oh, good night to you, John Harvey. Oh, Sadie. I warmly welcome your beautiful tears. You are so welcome. Mary says, I am caregiving right now for a 99-year-old woman with dementia, and she keeps yawning and started singing to herself. Amazing. You're so welcome, Mary. Oh, isn't that amazing? Co-regulation is such a beautiful, beautiful gift. When we can sense a regulated nervous system near us, our nervous system will reach out and attempt to co-regulate with another mammalian nervous system, which is why emotional support animals are so very, very therapeutic. When we can co-regulate with another mammalian nervous system, it is one of the most effective ways to regulate our nervous system. You want to know what another most effective way, a second effective way to regulate the nervous system? Breathing together. Slow, gentle breathing. So it is not surprising that she is yawning. Her parasympathetic nervous system is activated, perhaps as a result of your nervous system being regulated. It's such a beautiful thing. What a gift. What an absolute gift. There are 22 of us in this room together. As far as I know, we are all mammals. 23 if we count Mary's companion here with us. And we are all co-regulating together. And guess what happens when we co-regulate together? We are creating new neurological pathways. We are rewriting the old tapes. Well, hello, Miss Kay. We are so glad that you are here with us. We are grateful for you. Thank you to each of you who are here, who chose to be here. Thank you to each of you who listened to this on a replay. is on my heart. And I'm offering just a warm, compassionate witness to whatever it is that you find yourself going through today, and whatever has brought you to this moment today, to be here with us. I fully acknowledge your entire lived experience, your journey that has brought you to this moment. Whatever feelings, whatever emotions you bring with you, they are valid and they are welcome here. Many of us have walked a similar path, and I look forward to seeing each of you back here next Monday and every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, unless of course I see you sooner over in our daily recovery support calls. We have 2 calls a day, every day, Monday through Friday, or we have book club and yoga on Saturdays. We also have weekly creative group on Sundays, and we're going to be having fiction book club on Sundays coming up as well. So we warmly invite you. Please consider yourself warmly invited to join us. You can learn about everything at cptsdfoundation.org. This YouTube channel is sponsored by the Foundation for Post-Traumatic Healing and Complex Trauma Research. And again, my name is Athena, and I am so grateful I got to be here with you tonight. Please be extra kind and extra patient and extra gentle with yourself, because you're worth it. And I'll see you soon. Good night, everyone. Oh, hello, Miss Jennifer. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. And good night to you as well. Good night, everyone.